So
But
the decision on the 43 was what? Just the size, the comfort of carry. What was the decision there?
I'm a fatty and I want something that fits in my front pocket. that's the
fair enough. Fair enough. Pistols, prayer, and potluck. This is Armed Lutheran Radio.
Hi, folks. Welcome to another episode of Armed Lutheran Radio. I'm your host, Lloyd Bailey, the Armed Lutheran, and this is episode number 328. Welcome to all of you. Thank you for making Armed Lutheran Radio a part of your week again this week. This week is our online hangout for August 2022. Yes, I know for some of you, you're watching or listening to this in September. Due to various and sundry reasons, we ended up having to record this on August 31st, the last day of the month. So September, you're going to get technically two online hangouts. For those of you who don't know what these online hangout things are, well, basically we're going to be hanging out, hopefully with members of the cast and with some members of the Reformation Gun Club, who are the good people who help make this show possible. Today, I want to give a shout out to Annita from Old Fort, Tennessee, Kurt from Rialto, California, Drew from Excelsior Springs, Missouri, Mitch from Stockbridge, Michigan, James from Moline, Illinois, Gordon, Anthony from Cottonwood Heights, Utah, Rich from Lawton, Michigan, Derek from Huntsville, Alabama, and our newest member, Justin from Berryville, Arkansas. I haven't been to Berryville. No, I'm thinking of Perryville. Berryville and Perryville are different places. I don't think I've ever been to Berryville. Welcome, Justin. Welcome to all of you, and thank you all for your support. As I say every week, folks, Armed Lutheran Radio is listener funded. That means we rely on the Reformation Gun Club members to help keep the show going. We don't have any ads. We don't have any advertising, no sponsors. So this little plug each week is as much of an ad as we include in the show. That was not the case in the early days of the show. We did have sponsors back then. Today, not so much. Today, we rely on our members to help keep us afloat. And if you would like to support the show, if you would like to find out more about membership in the Reformation Gun Club, check out all the benefits and all the membership tiers, go to armedlutheran.us/gun club, or look for a link in the show notes for this or any of our previous episodes. You can also find links on the website as well. All right, let's get going here. We've got a good group here tonight, looks like. Let me see if I can get everybody in here. There we go. There's William. Hey, Guillaume. And a guest.
Yes, one of your biggest fans, my youngest daughter.
Awesome. Teaching them right. And Curtis is with us again. How are you, sir? There he is. There's Kalroy. How are you? Yeah, he's connecting to audio. He hasn't heard me yet. There he is. There we go. How are you, Kalroy?
I'm tired. I almost missed this. I was getting out of the shower. The alarm went off. And I looked at it and I said, I totally forgot.
Well, I'm glad you made it. We've got, let's see. Justin is with us as well, our newest member, who I was thanking in the intro, although he doesn't have his camera on. All right, how is everybody?
Awesome.
Good.
Very good.
I can't tell you how many times that we planned to do that, and then like somehow or another missed it. So
I totally understand. Totally understand. Justin, how are you, sir? Welcome aboard. Welcome to the club.
Doing well, thank you.
Justin is our newest member, just joined this week.
Welcome to the madhouse.
All right, here's what we're going to be doing tonight. I don't know if she is going to make it. Mia is working this week on an article about carry guns. And one of the things I want to talk about is, and we can do a little show and tell if you like, is your preferred carry guns and what factors went into your decisions for, what guns you prefer to carry and how you carry them. But we'll start with our usual kind of round the horn, catching up with what everybody's been up to since last we were together. So we'll start with William, who is not in Norway.
No, not this go round. Not even in Alaska.
Not even in Alaska. What have you been up to?
Oh, new job. Actually, I'm due to start on Tuesday. So, but we've just been hectic. So we got back from Norway and immediately had some travel. My two boys do mountain biking, and so we had their first time trials this last weekend. So we packed up everything for that, and then came back. Spending lots of money to live like a hobo. And then now we're actually leaving for another couple of trips, just fairly brief, but we usually rent our house out either on Airbnb or some other platform when we're out of town. So we just did that again. So we're almost completely packed up. All the personal identifiers and other sacred objects are tucked away in the back room that gets locked.
There you go.
So you want to talk about carry guns?
We'll get to that in a minute because I think that'll probably take up the majority of the show, I suspect. So we'll just continue with our round the horn here. Guillaume, this is your first hangout. So what we typically do is we start out with just a little, hey, here's who I am. And no, we are not getting to that yet. You're starting too early. Actually, I'm already into mine. Introduce yourself to everybody. This is your first hangout, and Guillaume is also a contributor on the. I don't have anything to show, but on the next version, the second edition of this book. Welcome aboard, and so what have you been up to lately, other than writing for some deadbeat podcaster guy?
Well, of course, I'm an LCMS pastor, so I spend all my time preaching, teaching, and preparing for preaching and teaching. Writing devotions. This year, I'm writing them on the 1-year series. I've completed the 3-year series, and I've completed the daily lectionary from LSB. So I'm not sure what I'm doing after this, but I'll do that today and this evening before my other daughter's birthday this week, and she really likes homemade ramen, and I was out of scallion oil and black garlic oil, so I was making that this evening.
Homemade ramen.
Or homemade ramen.
So expensive college food.
Yes. But it's definitely far better tasting than the 25-cent packs.
It's got to be.
when you make a stock that's takes 24 hours to make, the bones and meat and everything else,
Right. All right.
It's the upper level echelon ramen. Homemade noodles and everything else,
Awesome. Very good. Curtis, how are you, sir? What have you been up to lately? Since last we were together? You were at the last hangout, I think.
Yes, I was. Well, we finished moving into our house we bought a couple months ago, so I finally got back on the road. We're moving coal from Alabama over to Arkansas, so we got about 30 days, maybe more of that to do. So I'm actually in the truck right now. That's probably why my audio and video ain't real good. Kind of put those up because people's running engines. Personally, I don't run a 550 horsepower engine to run an air conditioning compressor, but some people do.
You're still hauling coal? Biden hasn't put you out of business yet?
Yeah, got that Tesla fuel on board.
Hey, Curtis, where in Arkansas are you going?
What's that?
Where in Arkansas are you going to be stopping?
It delivers at Southwest. I'm trying to think of the name. I got it here on a piece of paper.
Well, if you make it up to the Northwest Arkansas area, hit me up.
Okay.
Stop for a cup of coffee or a beer or something.
Foreman, Arkansas.
I'm not sure where that is.
Foreman.
It's southwest corner,
Southwest corner. Okay.
kind of west of Texarkana.
Oh, then we'll miss you.
Okay.
I don't know where that is.
I drive through that part of the state on the way to Perryville, not Berryville. I was just saying in the intro. I don't know where Berryville is. Justin, I'm gonna swing it over to you as our newest member. Tell us a little about yourself and remind me where Berryville is.
Well, you've probably seen the name if you've seen a Nighthawk Custom or a Wilson Combat 1911.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I work at one of those.
Neither confirm nor deny which one.
Yeah. Yes.
Gotcha. All right.
The one with the bird.
Oh. Very good.
But yeah, that's my day job. Then my weekend job, I'm actually on the cast of the Great Passion Play over in Eureka Springs. So been stay busy.
Very cool. What fun stuff do you get to do at the unmentioned firearm manufacturer?
I am actually a gunsmith back in the custom shop. So I get to touch not only our 1911s, but anyone else's that come through. So we will work on anything from fitting just reliability package to complete build up. You send us a frame, about 6 months to a year later, we send you a complete pistols.
Nice. Kalroy, we haven't seen you in a while. It's good to have you back. What have you been up to?
Constantly forget that we have a hangout coming up. I've missed this whole year's
4,
actually.
5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them afterwards when I see them on YouTube. I'm like, oh my gosh. This one I put on my calendar. And as I said before, I was getting out of the shower, getting ready to go to bed. And it goes off, and I'm like, no. So,
at least you remember to set an alarm.
Yeah, because you sent me the email. And I'm like, oh, that's tomorrow? Whoa.
Yep.
Our bread and butter down at the hangar is going away next month. Sophia, big 747 with a telescope. And I don't know what's going to happen after that. I mean, I'm not losing a job or anything, but I don't know what project I'll go to after that.
Remind everyone what your day job is.
Oh, I'm an engineering technician at NASA, which is a fancy word for welder, machinist, sheet metal, certified welding inspector. Yeah, that's pretty much, well, that's almost it. And engineers come and ask me questions about heat treating.
Okay.
I used to do that at the Air Force.
We'll not mention all that other stuff, and we'll let people just assume that you're dealing with like spaceships and astronauts.
That was cool though, right?
That is cool.
You can be a janitor, and if you're the janitor at NASA, it's awesome.
Just say I work for NASA, and you just leave it at that, and everybody thinks it's
Go to the gift store for Christmas presents. Everybody loves them.
Hey, David is here. Let's see. That would be David Scott, I think. We have like 4 Dans and 1 David. David's our only David in the bunch. There he is. How are you, David?
Doing well. How are you this evening?
Doing well. You're just in time because we had finished going around the horn, catching up with everybody. So we've got a couple who have never attended these hangouts before, and Kalroy hasn't been here in a while. So introduce yourself to everyone and give us an idea what you've been up to since you were with us last.
So I'm David Scott, and I am from the city of Kennesaw, Georgia, where you are required to own a firearm.
Everyone has guns.
Yes. I'm an IT guy, musician, do a lot of recording work. So
very cool.
Enjoy those kind of things.
What sort of things have you been working on lately? IT or music wise, either one or both?
Well, IT, I support healthcare systems in IT.
Right.
And so I'm a database person. Musically, I direct a Georgia Festival chorus, which is a 100 voice community chorus, does classical and sacred music, tours internationally from time to time. We're getting ready to fire up our Christmas season next Tuesday night.
It won't be long.
Nope.
My, how time flies. All right. Well, good to have you here again. All right, William, you gave us a sneak peek there. So let's go back around the horn again. The traditional second round is what is everyone's poison tonight? I suspect there's at least one who's not imbibing.
At least one. Yeah. In fact, Ezra, stand up over here. So here's one of my sons. He's just came back from mountain bike practice. He's trying to hide there.
How are you? Welcome.
He says, "How are you?" and welcome.
I forgot you got headphones on. He can't hear.
He can't hear, so I have to translate ish. But anyway, yeah, he's got a little spider bite, so we're trying to look it up. So if it looks like I'm not paying attention, it's only because I'm not paying attention.
Right, of course.
So and it's definitely not a brown recluse, so we're happy with that. But I don't know what it is yet. But anyway, some Benadryl will help that for the night. So tonight I'm starting with a cream stout from Ozark Brew. It's actually, I've had it before. It's fantastic. And then I'll go directly from that to, I think I'm going to go Irish because it's very smooth.
Right.
And then this is one that I actually brought back from Scotland with me, although I know I can get it locally here at the store. So this is Aberlour Scotch. And then if in fact, I can still see straight after that. There's one that I don't think I showed you before. I may have, I don't recall, but this one here reminds me of like the Trader Joe's logo.
Right.
But this is a sarsaparilla flavored whiskey. And I will warn you, if you ever do find this Jeremiah Weed delicious libation of whiskey and spices. If you ever do find it, it's fantastic. Try it. If you don't like it, I'll take it off your hands. But it is, if you like sarsaparilla and root beer and things like I do, it's a little too easy to drink. So that's just a warning, a fair warning. So that's what's on the docket tonight.
And I'm part of the reason, sort of self-servingly, that I do this every show is to add to my list of things that I need to try. So I'm going to make a note here. All right, Guillaume. I know you guys are probably not.
No, we're having homemade boba tea. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it's basically tea and milk, and has these little gel things down at the bottom there that are made out of
tapioca balls or whatever.
Yeah, tapioca balls. So that's for imbibing this evening.
Got it. How is it? I'm going to ask your partner there. How is it?
Sweet.
I like it. Approve.
Very good. Sounds great. My kids love boba tea. So.
Boba tea.
Yeah. All right, Curtis. You're driving.
Yeah, no spirits allowed in a commercial vehicle. So I'm on home fermented kombucha.
Okay.
That's like 0.5% of alcohol right there.
No, I ferment it myself, so I ferment all of that stuff out.
Okay.
All right.
I don't use the commercial stuff. I do it myself.
We've got some on the counter with a nice fresh SCOBY on top.
Yep.
I have several gallons going right now myself.
This is
awesome.
Common for everyone now.
Apparently. Who knew? Kalroy, what are you up to? You were just getting ready to go to bed, so.
I was. I've got Diet Dr. Pepper cream soda. I know my wife would really, she's laughing at me. I know she would love it if I made a couple of mojitos. It's 106 degrees here today.
Hey, Kalroy.
Yes.
I like to do Malibu rum in a root beer or cream soda. I've never had that particular cream soda, but you might try a dash of Malibu if you have it sitting around.
I have some
really
plantation 3-star rum that I've become quite fond of. I might try it with that.
Well, it's the coconut stuff. It's got its own flavor and smoothness to it that I
think I'll try
have regular.
Also, I like your taste. I've got a bottle of Abalor over there next to the 12-year-old Macallan. And the Abalor is my favorite since I was, teenager. I mean, since I was,
wait a minute.
No, it was 18 in Hawaii when I was a kid. We were absolutely allowed to drink that.
Telling on yourself here.
Ask him if he's tried Screwball.
No. Okay, so my wife asked if you've tried Screwball.
Yep.
But Lloyd loves Screwball.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. My wife loves Screwball. So for me tonight, just some pop.
All right. Justin, how about you? This is your first time. Don't let us down. What do you got?
Well, being a longtime listener, I was prepared. So let's see if we've got Panama Pacific. It is a 15-year-old rum, Spanish style rum from Panama. So yeah, something. Yeah, very very nice. I'm a big rum guy.
And Justin, did I see that you had a Glencairn glass so you could really bring the bouquet out? I thought I saw one. Okay. Well done.
Yeah, no, I certified Cicerone, and I was working on my Somme before I left Colorado. So
right.
Yes.
All right, bring us home, David. What do you got? Well, at least it's in.
He's muted. David, you're muted at the moment.
There we go. There we go. All right, now I'm just dealing with a little bit of Alka-Seltzer. So,
gotcha. Okay, you started before we did. Well, I've already told everybody, or showed everybody what I've got. This is, of course, as everyone knows, my favorite. So, and I haven't had it, and I'm now out. So that's really a sad story. So I know where I'm going tomorrow. All right. Well, let's get to. Mia had posted on the Facebook group a question about, because she's writing an article about carry guns and what the important factors are for everyone in terms of why you select the guns that you choose to carry. So let's go around the horn again. I'll get back. William, you'll lead us off. Since you were so eager to do so before, we will talk about what do you carry now, and what were the factors that went into why you carry that.
Well, I've got a family of Glocks, and I like to tend to them because they treat me good. Other than the fact that I get Glock bite every time I shoot it, I've got to get one of those aftermarket beaver tails. But I usually carry the 19. And if you don't mind me showing, I'll just show a little bit of. Are you guys familiar with the Filster Enigma?
This is that whole complete carry system thing, belt holster combination.
Yep. So it's a chassis, like a plate, if you will, that you attach a holster to. It comes with its own belt. You wear it inside the waist in the appendix position. And I won't disrobe because for obvious reasons, but But I'm just wearing a T-shirt, and let me pull that down just a little bit, and that's all I'm wearing is 2 layers of T-shirt, and you can kind of see the shelf of my belt because it sticks out a little bit farther. But if I push really hard, you can kind of see the outline right about here. There's the grip. But if I'm not doing that, it's really it hides it really well. And I've got a few extra pounds on, so it's not like I'm stick thin, but it's a really good hiding system. I'll pull it up just a little bit so I'm not undressing, but there's the chassis. Got a little closer. There's the chassis right there. I put a little clip to keep the pants from riding up and hiding access to the grip. Right. But the whole thing just sits under the clothes, doesn't have to be attached to them, and it's really fantastic. And I use the Filster Pro holster on this, which is the length of a 17. So it's got the longer length slide, so I can wear the 17 if I want, or because it's a Glock and I'm cheap like that, and I like to have one holster that fits multiple size hardware, I can carry the 19, I can carry the 26, and of course any of the others in the standard size, the 40 cal 357 SIG, because they all fit in the same dimensions.
Yep.
So, and I've been doing that a lot. Otherwise, I'd be carrying around the 3 to 4 o'clock position, inside or outside the hip. But this is comfortable. I've got it dialed in. As you can see on the original model, it's got a bunch of different holes that you can select from. It's got, you can't see it here, and I'm not going to pull it out at the moment, but it's got the claw that comes out.
Right.
So as it tightens down, either with my belt or with the plate, it tucks the grip in, and so it keeps it from tipping out. Because the holster is so long, it also works against the belt, and it keeps it from tipping out forward. And then because I'm bony, I put one of those wedges on. It's actually just a hunk of foam. Nothing particularly special. I literally just cut it out of a package that we got probably from Amazon.
Gotcha.
And I've got it Velcro to the inside. I've got a Dr. Scholl's heel cup that I sometimes swap out depending on how much I want it to stick to my shirt. But it's comfortable. It's weird because you got to get over breaking one of the four fundamental rules of not wanting to point it at something that's important.
Right.
But with a modern gun, I don't think there's quite the issue of random rounds going off in the chamber. So
right.
Other than that, this thing's comfortable. It's amazing.
Very cool. So for you, it was familiarity with the Glocks and the comfort of the carry gear. That was the bottom line for you.
Yeah, my first gun was what our friends on the left might call a Saturday night special. I don't even know if the company's still in business. Davis Arms. It was a little 380 caliber.
Ring of Fire companies.
Yeah, something like that. So it's my brother gave it to me, and so all I had to do is pay for the transfer. And it worked for a while until me, who never cleaned it, kept shooting it, and finally the slide literally snapped. So when I finally bought my first gun that was a little higher quality, I did a lot of research and decided to go with Glock. I knew there's a lot of aftermarket parts. Pretty vanilla choice there.
Right.
But it's been a good choice. It fits well, aside from the Glock bite that I get from time to time.
Right.
I've got several in the same family. I can use the same holsters, even though I still have a nice big box of holsters. I don't have 3 or 4 of them because I don't have 3 or 4 platforms. I really just have the one platform at the moment. So,
right.
And I'd love to get into the P365 realm at some point, just because I like the size. I've held them; they fit really, really comfortably. And then I know exactly which holsters I would buy to complement it. I would probably want to end up with a big old, bucket of those because I've already been through a bunch. But yeah, so Glock right now, and it's either strong side, 3 or 4 o'clock, or appendix.
Okay. All right, Guillaume, how about you? And do you what do you carry? Do you carry every day? What was the decision making like for you?
Well, as a poor pastor with 5 kids, price was one of the things. And I generally carry a Smith & Wesson Sigma 40 and a Milt inside the waistband leather holster.
Okay. And
then I also carry, if I go into the city, I also carry a Taurus PT millimeter. That I just have that sit in my pocket and a pocket holster type thing.
Okay.
My other carry is a knife, which is a Bram Magnum. Let's see if I got it. I have it on me here. And
all right.
But I'm not just into guns.
You mentioned in your article for the second edition of the book all the different things that you are into. Give us a little bit of a taste of some of that and why you chose those disciplines.
Well, I'm a third degree black belt in Han Mudo, which is a Korean martial art that I learned in my first call in New Orleans. And that's just basically Aikido, Taekwondo, Korean Judo, all that wrapped up together. And then I picked up the study of a Rakita Tertia Kali, just use this stick fighting and whatnot. And I'm currently working with a fellow in Ireland, another fellow in Argentina. I'm learning Doyle Irish stick fighting and a Bonifant cane fighting. That's down in Argentina. And then I do Piper knife systems, which is an ambush system that is basically they watched what the criminals do in South Africa and then systematized it. And then your job is once you learn that, you have to learn how to defeat it. So first you learn it, and as you're learning, you figure out how am I going to stop this, right?
So you're ready for anything by the time
I'm ready for anything. That's right. Well, you know what? My family is down in New Orleans, and so if we go into the quarter or whatnot, you just got anything could happen.
Right, and usually does. Right. All right. Curtis, how about you?
If I'm around the farm, I'm normally carrying my Ruger Red Hawk in 357 Magnum. If I'm out and about somewhere, it's usually my XDM that I carry, and I carry that. And I'm a simple guy; I just carry it in a belly bag.
Okay. What was the thinking behind the choice of? Well, let's talk about the XDM. The choice of why that particular firearm and why that particular method of carry. I'm helping write this article. Maybe Mia will send me some royalties.
Yeah, probably not any help from me, but yeah, I didn't have a 40 cal before, and I was looking for a semi-auto and 40 cal, and I'm kind of a Ruger and Smith & Wesson guy. I've got quite a few of each of those, so and it took me a long time. It was a bicolor XDM, and it took me a long time to get it. I had to order it for quite a while.
Okay.
But I'm happy with it. It shoots well.
All right. Kalroy, how about you? I'm guessing that NASA doesn't let you carry it at work.
No, and also at main campus is at Edwards Air Force Base, and they don't like it either.
Right.
My favorite is my 1911, but what I usually actually carry is a Glock 30S.
Okay.
Because I actually carry it, whereas if I carry my 1911, there'll be times when I want to go to the store and I just won't because it's heavy, but it's so much more fun to shoot.
Right.
The 30S is a subcompact 10-round 45.
Right.
And it is not fun to shoot.
No, I had one.
No.
I had a 30 and a 36, and it was not. Neither of those were fun.
No, but I don't carry it to be fun.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
My wife and I go to the range to be fun. I've got that 1911.
1911.
Yes, that one is fun. I could unload reloading supplies all day long with that thing.
So the choice for you then was comfort because you know, as you just said, you're not going to carry it if it's not comfortable to carry.
Because I would actually carry it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a 1911 for a while. And then it went to, plus, I'm also lucky enough to actually live in a county in California where you could get one before Bruin, and they're going to fight it now the way New York is. They have a proposed law that will make it illegal for me to walk out the gate because there's a church across the street from my house, and it will be illegal to carry on the church grounds, parking lot, and adjacent streets, which pretty much means I can't leave the driveway unless I unload everything, put it in a box, lock it up,
out the back
drive
gate.
down the driveway, get everything back out, go down to the end of the street. But since the end of the street, there's a grocery store with alcohol, same thing. The grocery store complex, parking lot, and adjacent streets. Schools, parking lot, adjacent streets. Anywhere where anything to do with medical, which means the dentist and the strip mall. So the whole strip mall, parking lot, adjacent streets.
So they've basically weaponized zoning laws against gun owners.
It won't stand, but it's the whole hassle of it until
you have to do the dance
overturned.
until it works its way through the courts.
Yeah.
Yep.
So sorry.
Yeah, my wife says hopefully. These topics make her upset.
Wait, are you living in occupied America out in California?
Yes.
We left there a year and a half ago, and it's nice to be in America, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but my job is aerospace R&D, and the lake beds mean that I'm pretty much going to be here where it's convenient to crash. The lake beds here are really easy on aircraft when they crash on them. We had a B-1 bomber one year. Nose gear wouldn't come down. They landed it with no nose gear on the lake bed, and it was up and ready to fly back in like a week and a half.
Holy cow.
Because of how little damage that lake bed does to aircraft. Wow. So it's a great place to crash.
Great place to crash, not a great place to live.
No, but Kern County has Bakersfield, and it's full of Okies and desert rats. So this county's actually pretty good.
No alcohol.
All right, Justin. Dan, we'll get to you last, and you can answer multiple questions at once. So, Justin, how about you? What do you carry, and what were the factors involved in why?
Well, given where I work, everyone does
carries.
carry, simply because it's like, well, there's like hundreds of 1911s around us. It's not like it would matter much, but
you would probably draw more questions if you didn't, I guess.
Pretty much. So of course, first we've got just Kershaw, nice little just pocket folder, and you gotta start somewhere. That probably gets more use than anything else. So it's just that idea of everyday carry of I use a flashlight and my knife more than anything. But I carry strong side in. Yep. So I'm like looking at my little tiny screen to see, make sure I'm getting everything in. So alien gear inside the waistband.
Okay.
They're 3-4 o'clock, and today's visual aid, it was so
Ooh.
the AREX Rex 01. So that's aluminum framed DASA, kind of like a SIG 226 clone.
226, yeah.
I really like it. I'm as accurate with that as I am with the $4,000 or $5,000 1911s I work on.
Right.
Like there is some advantage. I shoot every day, and so I keep in practice. That's a big one, is something that you can find ammo for it and you can practice with it. I like this one. I used to carry Glock 23. I like having that kind of like second strike, double action if I need it. This has got both manual safety and a decocker. So if I want to carry it cocked and locked, like I've been like a 1911, I can, or carry it hammer down. I like the sights on this one, bet over a Glock sights, just easier for me to see. So yeah, usability, weight, like I say, with that aluminum frame, nice big factor there. Conceals well. I mean, but yeah, I see a lot of guys carrying 1911s. One of our the lead gunsmith back in the custom shop daily carries a Glock 43. We
little of
the
everything.
the CEO actually, he gives us a lot of guff back in the custom shop, because I don't think any of us actually carries a 1911. Oh no, wait, no, the new guy does. He carries a he
Of
carries
course,
one.
the new guy does. It's always the new guy. He doesn't know better yet. All right,
Yeah.
David, how about you? Dan and Pastor, we'll get to you last, and you'll get to answer multiple questions at the same time. So, welcome both of you, by the way. David, what is your choice for everyday carry, and why?
I typically carry a SIG P938,
Okay.
miniature 1911 9 mil, strong side inside waistband, in a holster from the well-armed woman of all places. My wife had, my wife and I both are instructors and of some sort, and so she came on these holsters, and I liked the way it fit the gun. She carries a Glock 43. I carry a 938. I got that gun because of its accuracy. A friend of mine calls me up to the range and says, "Why don't you try out this gun? I think it's not working right." So he hands me his 938, and at 21 feet, I put everything touching on a quarter. So it was like, oh man, you just cost me $700. So I went and bought one. Prior to that, I had carried a Ruger LC9. If I suspect I want a little bit more oomph, I'll go with Glock 19 Gen 3 in Galco King Tuck, I think it is. It's the same pattern as the Alien Gear.
Right.
That tuckable
Kind of
inside waistband.
Right. Okay.
But I like the 930, and I've got a couple of buddies who, after seeing the 938 and what it can do, a couple of my buddies are now carrying them because it's just tremendously accurate. Or in the famous words of the movie, you can put your eye out with that thing, kid.
It's a good gun.
Dan, welcome to you. You get to answer. Actually, I'm undercounted. You guys get to answer 3 questions.
Awesome.
So first
Be right
off,
back.
what have you been up to since last we were together? And then we'll answer the. Actually, I'll let you and then the pastor take turns on that one, and then we'll do the what's your poison tonight question, and then we'll do the guns. So what have you been up to?
I've been up to all kinds of things. We have a lot of changes happening at work, and a lot of people are freaked out, and I am just enjoying breezing through it and leading everybody to happiness at the end. So it's working out. We're bringing good people on board, and it's really been a lot of fun. Change is usually kind of scary, but this time we got some really good people, so it's good. What I'm drinking tonight went with the standard Knob Creek rye because it's always good.
The old
and
standby.
That's what I'm drinking tonight. And that's 2 questions. John, why don't you take over? It's nice to see you again, by the way, my friend.
How are you, Pastor? And we can't.
He's quiet.
He's very quiet. He's lost his voice. It's that cheap microphone I sent him.
Well, at least you look good, John, but we can't hear you.
Clearly, he can hear us.
All right.
There he is.
The sultry tones.
That's usually, well, I don't know why this thing isn't working, but I switched to just the MacBook Pro built-in microphone. So
Good.
You should talk to the showrunner about getting you better equipment, I guess. I need to do that.
I guess. I think he's still waiting for me to submit my chapter for the upcoming book. And, maybe then.
Could be. I'm holding a new microphone hostage. That's right.
Pastors don't procrastinate ever.
Never. Well, heck,
Never.
you only got to work 1 day a week, so.
That's right. I get paid pretty darn good for a guy who works 1 day a week.
Who works?
His daughter's just laughing her head off. So what have you been up to since last we were together?
Well, I would have been here earlier if I hadn't had to be at a meeting. I drive school bus on the side because, I got to pay tuition for my daughter now. We have the advantage of having a parochial Lutheran high school here, and yeah, it's money, but it's money well spent. Been kind of running around like a chicken with my head cut off the last month. I volunteer to do all the IT stuff at the school where the wife teaches, and I got done setting up 40 MacBook Airs for the students, so that was a lot of fun. But this last weekend, my wife finally took a class to get her permit to carry.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Right. Nice. How'd it go?
The instructor was a FUD.
Most of them are.
For some reason, he basically picked on me the whole time and tried to make a joke out of everything. And then
Really?
he had and now the convenience of this is that members of the congregation, they had this guy come out to their house. He said if they have at least 5 people, he'll come out and do it at the house. So there was 9 of us. But for the range portion, he had us standing side by, 2 shooters at a time. And my wife, who has shot maybe 3 times in her life, who is already gun shy, I bought a Beretta Cheetah in 32 ACP because she's recoil shy. So I shoot as fast as I can just to get it out of the way so that she's not too nervous.
You hold on, honey.
Yeah.
Here, let me get out of the way. Boom, boom, boom.
The thing that was really disappointing, though, is that, the family that invited us said, well, he works really well with the female shooters and the unexperienced shooters.
Oh, really?
Nope. They said he did last time, but this time, it's my wife. She hasn't shot this gun except for, she'll shoot 5 rounds and then she wants to be done. And so she shot 5 rounds, and he, instead of trying to help her with her technique, he says, here, try this instead, and hands her a Ruger SR22. Well, she doesn't carry a Ruger SR22. She's going to be carrying the Beretta. Plus, I don't trust rimfire to go bang every single time you pull the trigger.
Right.
So, yeah, that was interesting. But other than that,
training with women is always interesting. And anytime I get to train some women who are new, I bring along a competent woman with me because she can help with the stuff that I just don't understand.
Sure.
Sure. And this is why my wife is now an instructor.
Good. Excellent.
So yeah, we're NRA certed, but we found so much crud going on with gender issues that she sort of took over, and she's a good instructor, has an educational background.
Excellent.
As a music teacher. So actually understands compassion and, being able to talk to people where they are and help them where they are. And so, but beware, she can shoot as well as anybody else does.
Good.
Well, yeah. We don't have an excuse here because my local range is the backyard. I just need to coax her outside a little more often to get some more practice.
And next time I'm in town, I need to come over and shoot at your range.
Yes, you do.
I saw your video. Is that the one with the field, that huge field out there?
Yeah.
No, it's nice.
Yeah, I can shoot in a mile with nothing for a mile. And it's great. Although, there's a cemetery in between myself and the end of that mile. So I don't think they're going to complain too much, though.
So you're shooting pistols at 1 mile. Dude, I want to shoot with you.
That's the amount of room I have before there's any buildings. So yeah.
Nice.
I can shoot a pistol at 1 mile. I have no idea what the heck I'm going to hit, but I can do it. Just get a good 45-degree angle on the trajectory and I'll be all right.
There you go. So what's your poison tonight?
Tonight I'm drinking a peanut butter cup. Peanut butter whiskey with chocolate liqueur.
Ooh, nice.
I'd try it. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I would try that.
That's how I got turned on to this. Was Pastor Larry Bean down in Gretna, Louisiana, had posted a picture of this bottle with a bottle of chocolate liqueur and described it as being like drinking a Reese's peanut butter cup. And I said, ooh, I got to try that. And I don't even bother with the chocolate anymore because this is fantastic.
Well,
you just put a nipple on the top of the bottle and kick her back.
Pretty much.
Now, there was one episode that Lloyd and I recorded where I brought out a bottle of apple pie moonshine, and I didn't bring a glass, and that was a mistake.
That was a huge mistake. There was, I don't know whether we had planned, which episode was that? You said, you ought to just release this as one big episode. And I was thinking, or do it as 2 episodes. That's what it was. You were like, just because it ended up being like an hour and a half long.
That was the moment where we were talking about, if we could make a red flag law, what would it look like? Yeah.
And you were nursing this bottle of moonshine along as we were going. And at the end, I was looking at it, I was like, I've got an hour and a half of content. What do I do with this? And you said, just cut it in half and make 2 shows. I was like, okay. I went back and listened. Your mic discipline went there was, as you were drinking, as the drinking went this way, the mic discipline went that way. It was almost inversely proportional. It was hilarious. And so
was I coherent though?
Mostly, yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Well,
this is why I like the Reformation Gun Club.
So I released that to the club instead of to the public. I'm not sure whether this is public consumption. It's hilarious, but it's not public consumption, I don't think.
One of these days, and I don't know if you want to do it once a quarter or once a month, but we have to do like a video version of Clinging to God and Guns.
We do.
And call it like How the Sausage is Made or something, just to show the whole thing uncut.
Yep. We've got to do that. Maybe we can start doing that next month. So the third question, and Dan, I'll go back to you. The one that Mia was posing on the Fans of Armed Lutheran Facebook page was about carry guns, why you chose them, what are the factors that are most important to you when you're deciding on what to carry. So that's Pastor gets to think about that for a moment. Dan, what is your choice currently, and what went into that decision?
Well, a good carry gun is a gun you can shoot well. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what flavor, it doesn't matter anything about how it looks or how cool it is or how cheap or expensive. Your carry gun needs a gun that you can shoot well. And then you need to learn how to carry it. There's so many different ways to carry firearms. Currently, I carry a P320. It has a custom Merzon grip, and I've done a little trigger work on it because I do trigger work on all my guns. It's comfortable. I like it. It's not for everybody. And
did you say you don't like it?
No, I do like it.
Okay.
Not all people like
you
it.
said it's comfortable. I don't like it, but that's what I thought. Maybe I.
So, but people ask me, what kind of gun should I buy? And I can't tell you. I can tell you what works really well for me, but you might try it and it's going to suck. You're not going to be able to shoot with it. You're going to be uncomfortable with it. So you just need to try some different things. I carried for many years, I carried a P227 SIG that I really love, and I still have it. I still shoot it. It's a beautiful gun, double action, single action. And a couple years ago, I kind of decided maybe getting into something striker fired would be good. P320 was good. I was able to purchase one for a decent price, and I had to get the trigger upgrade on it because it wasn't the voluntary trigger upgrade. I don't believe that it was necessary, but in order to get the caliber exchange kit from SIG that converted it from a 9mm to a 357 SIG, I needed to have the upgrade done. So when I can carry a full-size firearm, I carry a P320 chambered in 357 SIG, and it has a custom Merzon grip. When I need to deep conceal and when I need people to not have any idea that I'm carrying a firearm, I carry a P365. Cool. And both of those guns for me work well. I can shoot both of them well, and both of them are very comfortable for me. Doesn't mean they're for everybody. Everybody needs to find what works for them.
Pastor, how about you?
My daily carry's been a Glock 43, but I've thought about changing to something a little bit different. I've been thinking about the Glock 43X, and part of that is because Shield Arms makes a 15-round flush-fitting magazine for the 43X.
Ooh.
Okay. So you get something that's got the grip is maybe 3/4 of an inch longer than the 43, but you've got 15 rounds plus one. I do use a Mag Guts. If you've heard of the company, they make base plates and that kind of thing. They have a +2 base plate, so it adds about 3/8 of an inch, and so that bumps it up to 8 rounds instead of 6.
So the decision on the 43 was what? Just the size, the comfort of carry. What was the decision there?
I'm a fatty, and I want something that fits in my front pocket. that's the
fair enough. Fair enough. That's enough reason.
In fact, I haven't even taken it off since I got home from my meeting, but I have Alabama Leather makes a really nice Kydex holster, and it works really great. So I've done a lot of practice drawing with it empty, and that holster, it's comfortable and it really doesn't print much at all. So
the thinking on the 43X though, you're talking about a little bit longer in the grip,
just a tad, but it fits this holster too. So
right. Does that change the method of carry at all, or is it?
No, because when I took this permit to carry class, 2 of the other guys there, one guy had a 43X, another guy had a 43. I shot a full size Chanic just for fun because I hadn't shot it in a year or so.
Fun guns.
They are, and both of these guys thought their sights were way off because the broadside of a barn.
It's always the sights.
Yeah, and so I said, well, I've got a laser round that I can check the accuracy and let you know. So since it was a 43X, I swapped out with my 43 and put it in my pocket, and it fit just fine. So
was it the sights, or was it just that, like that chart says?
Yeah, the sights were off by 3 feet for some reason. No, it was, and
that's what I always say.
And I was practicing a little bit with my 43 the other day, and it had been a while since I practiced with it, and I was reminded of why I need to practice more often, because shooting a compact pistol, it's a lot harder to be accurate.
Yes, it is.
Just the amount of muzzle flip, and I told the guys, you got to have a bear grip on that pistol to be accurate with it. And so
when I come see you, I'll have my 365. You can try that. Muzzle flip is not a problem.
Nice. Yeah. It'll be really helpful though. And I know that there's, I don't think this is a factory option. I think it's something that, you have to get a custom build. Is these small pocket-sized pistols, they should come ported automatically. That would really help with that muzzle flip.
Depending on the caliber, it may or may not help. Something like a 45, I don't care how cool of a setup you have on it. It's not going to help. Your
not with a 45.
ported barrel is not going to help.
Yeah.
A 9mm is just getting to the velocity where it might help a little bit, but these little guns, they don't. I've shot these little small guns with ported barrels, and gosh, it really doesn't help all that much. It really doesn't, because you don't have the energy and the velocity that you need for it actually to do something.
Sure.
Now I'm sure it helps some.
Gonna have to call William out for waving the onion rings around at us.
Air fryer for the win. My son loves making them, and I'm like, I love eating them. This is a great combination here.
It works perfect. Well, speaking of guns that are not fun to shoot, but I shoot pretty well and carry fairly well. Both of my summer options are basically in that range. So this is the typical everyday carry.
Good gun.
Throw that in an appendix carry holster. It is a performance center, and the trigger's really, really nice, but it's also an air weight, so it's not fun.
Is that the 642?
Yeah.
Yeah, with 38 plus P, it'll take you for a ride. But they do shoot well, and you can run some rounds off, and they're reliable as all get out.
Exactly, and it's oddly, it's really comfortable to carry. You would think with the big bulgy, with the bulge of the cylinder, but because it's rounded, and so am I, it seems to work. It just seems to work well. It seems to work well for me. So
I regularly carry a 642 in an ankle holster as a backup.
And then
because I can throw that at anybody and anybody can use it.
Sunday carry in a pocket holster.
Nice.
Is the Ruger LCP. Until it gets cold, and then I'll wear something a little bigger on the waistband under my coat. But
do you have a challenge controlling the LCP? That's one of the least comfortable guns to shoot.
It is horribly uncomfortable to shoot.
I used to have one and got rid of it because it sucked to shoot.
Yeah,
we keep it, but only because. Ugh.
Yeah, it's. I've carried the LCP for years, and it works for summer carry, for just running to the store, throw it in the pocket, run to church, throw it in the pocket. It's not something it's very dependent on one time of year and two where I'm going. So if it's a situation where I know my surroundings better, church, 2 miles down the street to the grocery store, where I'm just grabbing something really quick and coming home, throw that in the pocket and I'm good. I used to carry, like I was saying earlier, the 30. I don't think it was a 30. It was a 30 SF. So it was the slim frame 30, Glock 30. Carried a 19 for years. Carried a 26 for years, and just over time it became, especially when you start working from home, there's the investment in trying to put the stuff on just to run down the street to grab a loaf of bread I found myself not doing it. And so I said, all right, let's reassess this and try to figure out it. Because for me, the important factor is, will I carry it? And if it was easier for me to just run out without it, and I found myself doing that, and that made me reassess my idea of what worked for me in those situations. So yeah, these aren't fun. This isn't a ranged gun at all, but this is if I need it, I got it, and I know how to shoot it. So,
well, what I usually recommend to people is, first of all, find a gun you're comfortable with. Find it fits good, it feels good, you're able to shoot it well, and get yourself a holster. And I train a lot of people from all different walks of life, and A lot of people are apprehensive of carrying a firearm in public. I get it. I understand that. It's you have a lethal weapon on your body, and that's a hurdle for some people. But what I usually tell people to do is carry it at home. Whatever you're wearing at home, get yourself a holster of some kind that you can carry it at home all the time, because statistically, the chances of something happening at your home as opposed to at the 7-Eleven or at the Safeway or at the grocery store or something, statistically, it's more apt to happen at your home.
100%.
You
of
don't
home
want to
invasions
run
happen
to
at
your
home.
bedroom and grab a gun. You want to grab it off your hip. So find something that you can carry it around the house all the time, and you'll be comfortable with it. It'll be something that's just there. And when you do have to run to the store, all you got to do is run to the store. You don't have to go grab your gun or think about if you want to have your gun or think about, you just go to the store because it's already on you.
That's good advice. Excellent advice. All right. It's been over an hour. Where did the time go? This is the biggest hangout we've ever had, by the way. Usually it's all Guillaume's fault. He was here first and everybody else followed. So we're going to give him the credit today, or his daughter.
We're all followers.
Or his daughter. It's probably her influence.
That's right.
I also wanted to show this off. It's a knife I made before I rage.
Outstanding.
Nice.
Wow.
Sweet.
What'd you make the handle out of?
What did you make?
What is the handle?
I think it's walnut.
A dead tree. Hello.
My bad. That looks great. How does it work? Have you used it?
I've used it somewhat. I used to keep it in one of the purses that my dad actually made, but that one since broken, and he's needing to repair it, so I don't have it on me as much.
Well, he needs to fix that.
Come on now.
All right, Dad, get on it.
Yeah, I also make knives.
Awesome.
So he taught me how to make one, and I made this one pretty much all on my own. So that was
Cool.
fun.
That's a beautiful knife.
That is awesome.
I like it.
All right. Well, folks, thank you so much for taking the time on a Wednesday night to come hang out with us. I know this was an unusual choice of day and time, but Saturday was not going to work, and it was going to be September. So I figured let's do the August hangout in August. That just makes sense. But Saturday, this coming Saturday, I become volleyball dad again.
There are worse things in life.
There are. I'm really looking forward to it. My daughter made the middle school team, and now their first match is tomorrow night, and then we go to Sanger for which is, I don't even know. It's like an hour away for a middle school tournament over the weekend, and so I just knew that wasn't going to work. So let's do it on the last day of August, and I really appreciate it. If this works out and everybody will show, then let's do this again next time. We'll do it on the very last day of the month in the middle of the week.
Let me pencil it in.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Wednesdays actually work for me now because I'm doing confirmation on Sunday mornings instead. So
yeah,
Wednesdays.
That's when I usually do mine.
Yeah, and my daughter starts confirmation in a week or 2 weeks. So yeah.
And I'm hoping the kids actually come to church more often too. So
that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Always a good thing. All right. Well, thank you all so much for taking the time. I really do appreciate it. I enjoy these hangouts a lot, and it's great to have a big group together. Yes. Justin, welcome aboard. Thank you for joining the club this week. And I'm glad that you were able to make your very first hangout. Kalroy, it's good to have seen you again. Haven't seen you in a while, and I hope you and the family are doing well. Curtis, drive safe. William, stop teasing us with the onion rings.
Oh God, I hate them already.
He's a free spirit.
Any update on the audible version of the second?
That's funny you should mention that. I was actually making some plans to start recording.
Great.
I've got all of the editing done. The index is done, with the exception, of course, of I've got 2 chapters that I'm waiting for.
Really? What is that? I got mine in months ago. And I thought I was late.
And to in Pastor's defense, he's had it's been a kind of a crazy month. So I have had tons of editing to do. So I'm not in a
4 weeks in a month. He works 4 days. Come on.
I know. What in the world?
Well, hey, some months it's 5. Okay, you got to give.
That's right.
Oh, okay. We'll give him
every
that.
13 weeks.
He was at a meeting today. That's the only time.
That's right. That's right. But no, the challenge for me is my wife's a school teacher. So the entire summer, the wife and kids are all home and my office is in the home. So it makes it a little challenging, but yeah.
Yeah.
And Lloyd, the more and more I look at that cover, the more and more I like it. You did good there.
They're really nice.
Thank you. It turned out a lot better than I imagined. I had this image in my head and it wasn't that good. I sent it off to the artist and I said, well, here's what I have in mind and here's what I did last time. And so I sent a picture of the cover of the first version, and the one I got back looked like the first version. I said, no, wait a minute. Maybe I should be a little more explicit about what I'm looking for here. So I had to describe it, and he came back, and it was fantastic.
Oh, he done good.
So
looks great.
What Curtis, to answer your question, I am, now that I've got most of the editing done, I plan to start recording chapters for an audiobook probably maybe next month. Once I get, because I figure I've got a 3-day vacation coming in middle of October, and I'm thinking that'll be a good time to just sit down and start knocking out chapters. So
that sounds like working on a vacation, Lloyd.
It does, but it's fun. I mean,
okay.
This stuff to me is fun. If I could do this for a living, I would be so happy. This would be fantastic. Just writing this stuff and recording and hanging out with you guys that's my dream, but it's never going to happen. So,
never say never.
Right.
Anything's possible.
Right.
Sometimes say never, but
I might get, who knows? We might get 9,000 subscribers and I might be able to quit my day job. Who knows? But I've been thinking about that suggestion since we talked about it last month. And I actually have been kicking around some ideas, trying to figure out, well, what's the best way to do it and who's going to take most of my money when I do record it. Amazon has a couple of different options that are not great and less not great, and there are some others out there. I'm doing some research, but long story short, I'm planning on starting some recording in the next month, and hopefully around the time, maybe in time for Christmas, I'll have an audiobook version available.
Nice.
Ooh, just in time. Get it done before Christmas. I'll buy copies.
And then I can actually take the Christmas vacation that I have planned.
Oh, that would be nice.
Not work during that. All right. Woo-hoo. Any other questions before we wrap this up for another?
Sure.
Moment?
What is the meaning of life?
42.
42. Yes.
Everyone knows that.
Lloyd, could I speak to you afterwards? Coward.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
All right. Well, guys, have a great night. Guillaume, thank you for bringing the guest. It was wonderful.
She's one of your number one fans. You know, I was gone for 2 months for my son's operation. She downloaded onto our iPad like every single episode and just listened.
Nice.
She has good taste.
Now I'm really worried about some of the language we use.
You mean the French?
What do you mean we?
Excuse our French, right?
It's like the warnings for television now. You have to put like drinking references and stuff like that. And
right. Warning: there may be alcohol and.
Oh, we don't have drinking references. We have drinking displays.
Exactly.
Drinking.
And this is the most
You're just
depressing.
amused by
the
it.
most depressing thing of the night is.
Oh, that's sad. I will mourn for you.
Yes.
All of the alcohol references just make me laugh.
Good.
Well, then you'll laugh a lot with us.
As long as they don't make you want to partake yet, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, Kalroy, I'll talk to you in a minute. Everybody else, thank you so much for taking the time to be here, and we will see you again next month.
Blessings.
You all have a good evening.
God bless you, everybody.
Bless you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Aloha.
For show notes, be sure to visit our website at www.armedlutheran.us. Check out the Facebook page, The Armed Lutheran, or join our Facebook group, Fans of Armed Lutheran Radio. If you like what you hear, please leave us a comment on our feedback page at armedlutheran.us/feedback or a review on iTunes and let us know what you think. Thank you for listening to Armed Lutheran Radio, a member of the Self-Defense Radio Network.